Hey guys, Shaq here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys a virtual world list that I piloted in my last locals I was at last Monday actually over at the Gaming Goat in Tinley Park. Great store, you guys should definitely check it out. And I know I said that I was going to bring to you guys this virtual world list a long time ago, but you know, life happens and all that good stuff. So happy to bring it to you now. Really excited to show you the cards I am using and all that good stuff. Don't forget, guys, to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Just let me know what you guys want to see, and maybe I'll be able to kind of spread the word a little bit. But I'll go through my main deck. This isn't the exact list of the main deck because I did want to make it a little bit better. I'll tell you what I played and what I changed, as well as why I'm playing what I'm playing now and kind of how I'm playing the deck going forward. So yeah, virtual world, I love the deck. It's really fun, and we played what it was like a 20-man tournament maybe, and I got 5th. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it's a really high quality players there for sure. So anyways, let's get into the profile, and without further ado, show you all my cards. So let's start off with the main deck. So the main deck, we're playing actually like a pretty minimum amount of virtual world cards. We're only playing 2 Nyan. We're not playing the 2/2. So 2 Nyan, I don't think you need to play more than this. It's a really good card, but it's really bricky. You don't want to see multiples of it ever, and it's very easily accessible. So I really don't think it's necessary. There's a lot of other cards in the deck that like do exactly what Nyan does, so it just doesn't matter. And then we play, of course, the 3 of the best card, 3 Lulu. This card is just a +1 when you activate it, so it's like the main card that they want to ash, and it's very good, obviously. I don't need to talk much about these cards. The 3 Laolao. Laolao is insane because it's basically a monster reborn if you have your graveyard set up. It's also a tuner as well, which is really good. And then 3 of your Lili. Lili is the double foolish burial one. This one's really good as well. And then the triple Jiji, the one that got basically the least credit for it being such a good card, but this card is obviously also insane. So that's it for the virtual world monsters, actually, just 14. Again, I really wanted to play like better cards in this deck. Like obviously the virtual world cards are good, but you can only play the 12 like names that summon from hand, and the normal summons aren't that good of cards. So yeah, you just want to play the best card, the best hand effect cards, and kind of forget about the rest of the engine and kind of play more utility cards. Speaking of utility cards, Phantasme. So I basically built this deck to be able to go second and play against Dragon Link, and Phantasme is insane against Dragon Link. Obviously, you get to draw 4, pick the hand that you want, and then you're able to bust their board, which is really cool. 3 Ash, it's the next best card, I would say. Ash is insane. Yeah, there's not really anything to say about it. Ash is really good. And then probably a really weird card that I wouldn't recommend people play, except for this deck, or maybe like Dragon Link, I guess, since it's a light monster, is Effect Failure. So I was playing Ghost Ogre, and 2 Ghost Ogre, I think, and an E-Telly, or maybe 2 Ghost Ogre and an Upstart, I can't remember. But it was 2 Ghost Ogre and then something else. Instead of the 3 Effect Failure. But I figure Effect Failure is just better in this deck because you don't want to play impermanent. 2, I don't think Ghost Ogre is really that good. It doesn't do a whole lot. I feel like it's not as useful. Whereas Effect Failure, I feel like hits a lot of cards in the format that you really don't expect. And it's also really good to use after you have a Phantasme. What's also really good about this card is that if you draw into it while you're doing your combo, it's a 100% a disruption, and it doesn't clear your own board. So I find that Effect Failure for every single purpose of my deck specifically is the best hand trap pretty much that I can play. So that's it for the hand traps. Then for the spell lineup, you're playing the 3 city cards, busted, obviously. The 3 Qinglong. Qinglong is obviously a really good card to bait out negates and stuff for your opponent. 3 Pod Desires for drawing cards, which is insane. And then 2 Foolish Burial Goods. So a lot of people don't like this card. I think this card's absolutely insane because it's pretty much the only card in the game that lets you see another virtual world hand effect name, and that's really valuable. Like this card plus so many other cards in your deck is just your shen with the shen chuche, which is shen chuche is like exactly what you want to do in this deck. and the fact that this card gets you to that is insane. And I thought this card was worse because this card like is just like not a great extender if you have combo anyways. But I was actually wrong on that. This card is actually very, very helpful, allowing you to get into your tzolken plays. So yeah, very strong card. I definitely recommend playing it at least at 1, maybe 2, but I like 2 right now. And then we're getting into the trap cards. So this was a main deck choice for the event. Is a really good card. Obviously, there can only be 1 or whatever. Just a really good floodgate you can play in this list. And yeah, it just helped me keep up essentially with the other decks. And then the other trap cards, of course, are the 2 juijui and the 1 Zanwu. Yeah, I think that overall, testing the deck, this is the completely fine ratio. I don't really think there needs to be much explaining about it. So that's it for the main deck. Let's get on to the extra deck. So the 1 shen, this is basically your win con. The fact that it is a macrocosmos, it brings itself back. It's just the fact that it's a beater. What the biggest thing about this card in the ground game is that you can summon it back from the grave, and when you summon it back from the grave, you have another virtual world card on field to resolve your virtual world effects in hand, which allows you to like OTK extremely easily. So this card essentially enables like all of your follow-up kills, which is really, really good. Then the 1 croc dragon and the 1 vermilion dragon mech. So these cards are both really good in their own ways. I would say that essentially you use croc dragon for basically being another stardust charge warrior, but it's also really nice the fact that it could also act as a juijui, but a synchro version of juijui, which is kind of cool. Depending on how many cards you draw and how many cards you have left in your hand at the end of your turn. And then also Dragon Mech is really good for unbricking your hands in certain situations and just going for OTK. So both really, really strong cards. Then for 6s, you're playing the 1 juju, the 1 charge warrior, the 1 coral dragon, and this is a new addition. The extra deck honestly has like changed quite a bit, I would say. 1 nothung. So the extra deck, I'm trying to think of what the extra deck was at the tournament. Basically, I was playing just a bunch of utility cards. I can't remember what this was, to be honest with you, but I just put this in, so just deal with it, basically. Not really anything to say. Like, these 2 cards you always see in the decks. Juju is just really good against, like, shaddolls and stuff, and, like, Dogmatika decks. And then nothung. So the reason why I'm playing nothung is because if you summon this card with a Lulu and a... so normally, like, the follow-up play, right, is going to be your Lulu plus a spell in the grave. So you go Lulu, summon, effect, add Jiji. Jiji summon, and then you make this, right? And then you search Laolao. So this is the first Alpha Dragoon because this card doesn't target. And then after that, you can summon Laolao, and this card would be negated and destroyed. You go Laolao, summon back Lili, and then you can make any rank 6 you want and out the situation from there. So I really do like this card for baiting stuff. It's a really nice out to a lot of like monsters, and it lets you just like beat over monsters for free if you already use your like coral dragon or something, or if it's untargetable. And then the 1 Ultimate tzolken and Crystal Wing package, it's too good not to play. Excuse me, on your good hands, it's just really easy to make. A lot of times you're not trying to play around Nibiru because people are not playing Nibiru against you, and if they do, then we just play the deck differently and we just make this first. So it doesn't really matter, but you can make this card really efficiently when you do have your good hands. So it is a good addition to just Shen juijui. So that's it for those. And then the XYZs, it's just 1 Gossip, 1 M7. These are pretty standard. 1 Utopia Beyond, very good. The 1 Fanfan, I really like this card. It's very high utility. The 1 Gaia Thunder Charger card, and then the 1 Zeus. Pretty standard XYZ lineup. Just pretty much any XYZs you want to play that have good utility. And I do want to finish this video up pretty quick here because I don't want to waste too much more of your time. So moving on to the side deck, you're playing 3 Droll and Lockbird. This is really good against Dragon Link. You need to play it. Same thing with the Dark Ruler No Mores. You need to play these. They just help you in the matchup, and it's the most consistent way I've found to be able to deal with the deck. The cards that you side out, you're siding out your 2 Foolish Burial of Goods, and you're siding out 1 Desires going second because you don't want to draw multiple Desires going second. It's much more likely. And then you also want to side out your 3 of the Trap card. There can only be 1. For backrow decks, triple Twin Twisters, 2 MSTs, and 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. This is pretty self-explanatory. The reason why you don't play Cosmic Cyclone is because it banishes, and people often side Lancia versus Virtual World, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I also don't play Red Reboot because I think that card's absolute trash. A lot of times, the fact that you're paying life points just really irks me. These cards are also outs to Mystic Mine, whereas that card isn't. And a lot of times people are only going to be setting like 1 or 2 back row, so I feel like MST is fine. Whereas Red Reboot could just get them an extra resource if you can't kill them, which this deck grinds a lot, so it's not that great. And then the 2 Anti-Spell and the 1 Imperial Order. I think I played 1 match that day where the Imperial Order actually ended up making me lose against Dogmatika. Oh yeah, by the way, let's talk about my matchups. So my first round, I played against like a really random dude. He's a great guy, but it was just a really random deck, so it was kind of just a blow-off round. Second round, I ended up playing against Adamancipator Prankid. That was a really fun match. I've never played against them before, but I was able to defeat them with Dark Ruler No More and just breaking their board with actually Qinglong, which is pretty cool. Round 3 was the Dogmatika-shaddoll-invoked deck, and I wasn't able to beat that deck. It was actually really weird. They just kept not letting me summon monsters to the field, and then they ended up beating me. And then it was just rough. And then round 4 was Dragon Link, and I was able to 2-0 Dragon Link. So the one time I played against Dragon Link, it was really good. And I think adding things like Effect Veiler in the main deck will help you against the Dogmatika Invoked matchup. But yeah, overall, really fun deck, super fun to play. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and comment, like, subscribe. We'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.